Yeah. We are in the building. This is your boy, Jay Gibson. We in the house. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of stars in the building tonight. This is Boss Talk Nation, where we bring all the entertainers and entrepreneurs together. You know what I'm saying? We got some good things lined up for y'all tonight. We're talking to two of the hottest artists that's coming out for 2021 and for this summer. So y'all sit back. We're going to get to the intro, and then we're going to start the show. All right? It's Boss Talk. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We in the building.
So you want to be a boss. You going to be a legend. You going to go down as one of the greats. Well, welcome to the place where all of that begins. See, for me, I started off in the booth. I was writing rhymes, I was coming up with concepts, and we were putting in long nights to make those dreams come true. But along the way, I learned some lessons. That the real power in the game wasn't in front of the camera, it's behind the camera. And as I learned how to go from an entertainer into an entrepreneur, a burning desire to spread that knowledge to others who were just like me started to brew. And then it started to bubble until it overflowed. And the first thing I did was go find other bosses, other people who were like-minded and had a vision and wanted to change the culture forever, to provide the information and the resources and the network necessary to change the game. So we formed Boss Talk Nation. CEOs from different area codes. People who are the greats and the goats in their lane. And we put it all together. Because like the great Chuck D said, it'll take a nation of millions to hold us back. And now that we got Boss Talk Nation, you're gonna need a lot more than that.
All right. So we back in the building. You know what I'm saying? This is Boss Talk Nation. When we get it in. So we got two of the hottest in the building. Let them know. We're going to start with RX the rapper. Let them know what's going on with you, man.
Man, just blessed to be here, man. Blessed to be amongst legends. You know what I'm saying? Just blessed to be in a spot, to be able to work with amazing artists like 80 Empire. Big shout out to Chino XL for killing me on that record. Not many people could do that. So shout out to you, bro. Bring flowers to the studio next time. You know what I'm saying? For the murder. But no, we working, man. We here. They're in the building, Canada in the motherfucking building. Let's go.
I hear good things about you, man. My man Suave said he know you from back in the day. So
you know Suave.
Hey man, everybody knows Suave, man.
Hey, what's up? Hey, shout out to Stack Town,
No doubt. All right, and I got my other brothers in the building doing their thing. We're gonna bring them on the screen right now. Introduce yourself to the people.
Yes, sir.
Adrian, Lucas, this 80 Empire. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, RX, good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Hey, my brothers, man. Hey, my mentors, my brothers, and just people I look up to, man. I try to stay around people that's uplifting me, man.
No doubt. So, my bad. These allergies.
Bless you.
You already
blessed.
Bless you, man. I'm probably gonna cough a couple times, man. I don't want to get into it, but I was in the hospital a month ago, 3 weeks in the hospital with COVID, blood clots to my chest, legs. I got a collapsed lung right now. So, I probably might cough and sneeze. So I excuse me in advance.
No doubt.
And really quick, I know fairy tales is a subject. Them the gladiators. If y'all never seen the video with Bone Crusher and them, go look that up. It's a reason why they call these boys the gladiators, because they gladiators.
No doubt. All right, so we're gonna get to it. So let's start with 80 Empire, man. Talk about your journey and how you got to this point in the game.
Well, we've always been lucky to have parents that love music and supported our plight to pursue music as a full-time career. Because we all know music is like an abusive relationship. You get slapped and abused so many times, but you keep going back to it because you love it so much. Yeah. So, as kids, we were always kind of like the outcasts. We were always the the ones that kind of paved our own way and did our own thing. So it was just natural for us. And we grew up listening to, lack of a better word, black music. That was we didn't grow up listening to Led Zeppelin or, or rock and roll, even though we can appreciate
And we got records here. My dad's records, Third World.
Yeah,
and this is not, we didn't mean to have these records. They're just, we still listen to, there's a lot more to bars, but that's what we listened to, man.
Yeah.
This was our soundtrack growing up.
These were our records. So, and then it, with hip hop, it was just natural for us. And Adrian being Adrian's the singer, the songwriter, the rapper of the two, and I'm the physical production ways of, I have a piano background, jazz, keys and stuff. So it was just perfect. And we always knew that we were brothers, so we could duke it out. We could fight with each other if we were, pissed off about shit, but we knew we had each other's back. 100%.
I love using this word unequivocally. And we just knew, man, like watching Beach Street, I have to say that was like the precipice. That's another word. From The Sopranos. What's his name? Carmine Lupatazzi used to
look at this.
The precipice.
Hey, bro.
No. But really, it was watching the movie Beach Street as kids.
Yeah.
When we saw Kenny and Lee and like the dynamics between the two brothers, we're like, yo, we want to be a part of hip hop. So, we've had multiple roller coaster rides, brand name managers. We've been signed to Universal. We have currently a publishing deal with Universal, been through so many things. And then finally, about 5 years ago, we're like, let's start our own indie label, Gladiator Records, and do our own thing. So we don't have to answer to anybody but ourselves and put out the music and the product that we want to put out. And we don't have to answer to these guys in an office who really don't know what the hell's going on. And half these guys at the labels, these A&Rs, they manage rappers and they manage producers. Why are they going to put you on or our ex on or us on when they want to manage?
Yeah.
They're already getting paid by the label, but then they also get 15 or 20% off of their artist or producer. So they're going to let them in the door first. So we're like, we're tired of this bureaucracy. Let's make our own shit.
Yeah. And plus too, when you look at it, we all have those friends or family that work like an office job that they can't stand. And labels are no different. And the only difference is that the people that work the bare minimum, the 9-to-5ers on some of these labels are in charge of your album. And when the sales don't come in and they wonder why, well, if you do the bare minimum of work, you're going to get the bare minimum results. So, with us, we are the masters of our own destiny. Whether an album fails or succeeds, it's on us. Whether we can't control what the public is going to like more. They might like this record more than that record.
Success for someone who's doing it independent is a different. We're looking at success through a different lens.
Yeah.
If a record label is spending $20 million, $10 million, and they don't get that back, that's a big flop. For us, to put out an album and get 2 million, 3 million streams on Spotify, that's an extremely fickle platform. That's a success in our eyes.
Yeah.
Because we are independent, not independent with a private
investor.
We don't have a cousin who's some mafioso in Sicily. Like, we are the investors, the producers, that like, this is a one-stop shop right over here. We're just keeping it 100 with everybody.
No doubt. I like what you were saying, man. Like, you definitely laying down the game for the people that's out here, because I like what you said as far as the differences between being independent and the overhead, the expectation, and not only that, the return. And with the recent stuff that's going on, like I don't know if y'all heard about it, but they got a battle going on right now between Dame Dash and Jay.
Yeah.
Reasonable Doubt thing. So I want to get you guys, get y'all opinion on that too, because that's basically what y'all talking about. And the first thing that came to my mind, because I heard you saying like y'all got signed before. I did some work with Atlantic before too, had a deal, you know what I'm saying, early 2000s. And the difference with what I keyed in on what you were saying is the first thing I thought about with the Jay-Z thing was how, since he was a partner from the beginning, every other rapper, like basically you say like him and DMX was contemporaries at that time. X sold like 5 million, but he would have had to sell 3, 4, 5 million to get the same cut that Jay would get off of just 1 million.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or a couple hundred maybe go gold. And because his cut was so large, or because he was a partner over those years, nobody paid attention to it. Like he's in the ring, in the arena as a rapper, but he's getting a boss cut. You see what I mean? Kind of like what's going on today, as like a rapper would have an imprint deal, and the labels, the distributor, and all of that. So, talk about some of the things like you said, because when it comes down to producing a record, where most of these young cats and not even just young, but just new artists don't understand, it's easy and quick and cheap to make the music now, but it still costs the same amount to promote the music and to get, and even more now because you got these streaming platforms. You got 5-6 different platforms.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if you don't get your video out there, if you don't move this stuff the right way, it's just gonna sit there. It's 10 million other songs on iTunes, Spotify. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
and Ken, like you were saying, it's like it's just not to reference some hip hop bars, but it's like when you precious as gold is, but with them checks getting so big, them leeches trying to leave you in debt, never letting you own it, and that is the truth.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's
You
what's
know
up.
what I mean?
Let me ask
you. Do the hip hop shit, man.
That's what's up, bro. So let me ask you, you feel what I'm saying? What's been your experience in the differences of, the independent side of the game versus, dealing with any majors or any labels or anything like that?
For me, I definitely, I'm actually nobody, by the way. Hi, my name's RX. No, I'm just playing.
Man, you on BossTalk, dog. Listen. I got the resume, dog. Come on now. Let's do what we do.
Yeah, I started off young. I started with the big homie Freeway Rick. We was plugged up with Universal. We did a little situation with them, a little joint partnership. And I guess I felt like, these people going to do this, and that. And then I'm kind of coming out here like with my hand out instead of as opposed to thinking, hey, I got to wear 8 hats and be my own boss like these guys have, right? They run a label successfully because they've been able to understand the independent side. I didn't get into the independent side later. I came in really green, like just not really understanding the industry. And then, I had the song that went on the Emmy-nominated documentary soundtrack for Cracking the System. And I think it was just a crutch for me because it kind of put me like thinking like, I'm thinking it's 1990 or 2000, like it's still going like that. But and not that doesn't still happen, but I don't think I had a clear sense of what it really was on the independent side. And that's why this year, especially, I've been getting a lot more traction and things have been going up. But I mean, it's just really like independently the results. Like me and these guys, we've been working on this joint album here for what fellas since March of pre-COVID, right? So
yeah.
I mean, it's just like it. Oh, sorry, Lou, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's been a good year that we kind of had tracks sitting and then just kind of slowly putting things together. And then we had our album last year we're working on. You put out your Elixir, we put out Legacy. So we had but in the background we were kind of tinkering and putting this project together. Yeah, so we've been putting this together for like a long time, and that's what this single is really about that we're putting out with Chino XL again. Shout out to Chino, shout out to DJ EFN for getting on there and showing us love. But it's like, a lot of people aren't telling the truth. They're not being them. Like, it's 2021, bro. It's cool to be you. Just be you. You know what I'm saying? Like tell your story. Tell what's going on. That's what this record talks about. Is basically the whole first verse. I'm talking about like I'm a made up character just talking bullshit. Can I curse on the show?
Yeah, man, you good. We talking.
Yeah.
I mean,
what I'm saying? Just bullshit and kind of just like capping, like that's why I'm painting a picture of me capping, and then I circle at the end of the verse to say, hey, basically, I can make this shit sound good too, and that's gonna fly like that. No, this is 2021. That's what this album is about. That we're doing is just authenticity and just being who you are.
Yeah,
that's what's up. So let's talk about the music. I mean, getting in the studio, like you said, y'all been working on the project for a while. And when you work on a project for a while, it's things that can happen. Like you either gonna fine tune the music, or what can happen is you start one way, and then you tap into, when y'all in the studio messing with beats and stuff, and you just tap into a sound that now you may have to take the album a different way. So talk about the process of y'all creating the project, and what was some of the from the beginning to when you got to the end, like some of the differences.
Yeah,
I'll let the big homies take it off.
Yeah, it's funny because with RX there's like an instant connection musically, and I think the album has how many tracks? 7 tracks.
7 joints. Yeah,
7 tracks, and I think it was honestly, and not to sound like, I think it was 7 beats. It was 7, like that was it. Like there wasn't like 30 beats and kind of, it just, there was an easy fluidity with us where we would send something our ex, and he's like, I know exactly what I want. I hear this, and Adrian would be like,
I think we're just on the same plane creatively.
Yeah.
And it just worked because the three of us are just no bullshit. We're really about the art.
The art of
I
it.
mean, I think really the last add-on was Chino and DJ EFN, and RX brought both to the table. He's like, hey fellas, why don't we get Chino? And we're like, yo, that'd be a great idea. So that was like a last kind of, that was like kind of the last piece of the puzzle. But yeah, the three of us just, I mean, obviously we're brothers, but you know, with RX, we've known RX for a good 10, 11 years, probably when he was still a teenager. And there was just a creative cohesiveness, man. It just clicked.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's nice when you can do that, when there's no egos. Because, you know, there's one thing that Adrian and I, we always say, like, check the ego at the door. Like, you know what I mean? And we have found that the people with the biggest egos in the industry are the people that have had the least amount of success.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, right? Like when you talk to some of the bosses, and you really, like, I've been in studio rooms with cats, and like you sit down and you talk to people. Like me and Eric Sermon one time was chopping it up. Like he was in a session doing some work for Macy Gray or somebody. You know, he be working, he be producing.
Yeah, he's a legend, man.
You know what I'm saying? So he came down to our room. And he like, yo, what's that? You see what I'm saying? But when we start chopping it up, he spent a whole hour with me. And I appreciated that. Like all the times, like Corrupt, we done chopped it up before. I mean, Dame, a lot of people in the game, you get blessed to get those moments of time. Like when you actually get some time to soak up some of the game from some of these guys. And they get to know about you. You're not just a fan, yo, what's up? Yo, I love your music. It's more like, yo, this is what I do. And you know, if you lucky, you get a couple jewels. You feel what I'm saying?
That's facts, big bro. Not to interrupt you, but just straight like that. Like me being around Rick Ross at such a young age, I think it crushed me, right? To me feeling like I was on top of the fucking world, because he was so humble and showed me that love. I get an opportunity. Like when I got the call from 80 Empire, when we had really spoke, me and Adrian spoke first, I think when we were going to do the Take It Back single. So this must have been, 2 years ago when we had reconnected. It was after I did my I Know video. And I'm just like so hyped up. I'm like a fucking kid on Christmas. Like, oh, cuz, fuck with bro, give me the time of day. And he's so goddamn humble that it's just crazy, bro. Rick Ross, the Chino XLs, the Crooked Eyes, all these dudes I know that's top tier, bro. They up here on a whole different level. They're humble. Like, and when you treat people as less than, that's your own insecurities. Yeah. It don't matter what you did, none of that shit. You ain't nobody a god on this earth. You know, we are all equals, and it's humbling, bro. It's humbling to see that, like, people like on their level. That's mostly platinum. You know what I mean?
We all go when we die. We all go into Earth, and I always say the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest person in the room. Because if you got to do this, and you're looking for that attention.
But wait, we're Italian, so we're always loud. Well, that's just because we're just loudmouths. No, but you know, Obi Trice, we did a track for Obi back in 2011, his third album, when he left Shady, and that was his dark time when he just was independent, and was called Battle Cry. And at the end of the song, he says it sticks with us. Some days you're the dog, some days you're the hydrant, and you know, you can be the top. We've seen it. You can be the top artist right now in the game, and in a year from now you're back to being square one. That's real. And it's like, that's why it's like, be humble and continue that positive energy, because if we've seen anything in this last year and a half with the pandemic and all this stuff going on, I mean, civil unrest has been going on for hundreds of years, and you know, not to get into all that stuff, but life is too short, so enjoy every day and be humble, because you don't know when tomorrow's taken from you. So you want to be remembered as, man, that I love the music. Like if we're talking back to music, I remember that music. It made me cry, it made me laugh, it made me fight. Bone Crusher said, Bone Crusher said a great quote. We're good friends with Bone Crusher, and he goes, a lot of the music today, it's lacking that feeling. You know, he goes, when you listened to James Brown or then to, then fast forward to the late 80s or early 90s.
Public Enemy.
When you listened to Public Enemy, it made you want to fight. It made you want to protest and go fight the power. He goes, a lot of the music today, he goes, it doesn't have that same feeling.
No.
You know what I mean? And there is the music that has that feeling. You just have to maybe dig for it a little deeper. If you're looking at TikTok or listening to your top 40 radio, you're not going to find it.
No, that's what's up.
I hate TikTok. Am I the only one here that hates TikTok? God,
I can't be. Hey, let me just keep it 100. I can't be mad at TikTok. You know what I'm saying? TikTok is inspirational sometimes.
Shout out to TikTok, but I don't like doing it.
but I get your point, though. You feel me? I get your point.
Chicken wing.
Like if these dudes, that's what a lot of people don't understand. Is like it's a lot of cats like us that been independent that was like fuck all the like I remember when I got signed with Universal, they're like, all right, you need to get on your social media, you need to do all this, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna do an Instagram post for it. Let me rap. Let me do what I do. Let me focus on my craft. And so I think it's a lot of people that are independent that don't spend enough time and realize these things. It's like a cryptocurrency situation. Right. Everyone's gonna tell you about it, and then it's gonna pop, and you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna smack yourself on the head. Like, what the fuck? I ain't getting on that. But at the end of the day, it's vital, bro. It's vital, and I think that we were late. 80 Empire should have 1 million followers. They're multi-top Billboard charting artists. I'm a nominated artist, but it doesn't translate platform. You know what I mean?
But see, we gonna get to all that, and like a good segue is when you talk about the music, I got your YouTube channel pulled up. RX, he might have had a technical difficulty. So look how he was outside, but he'll be back. So while we wait for him, let me go flip to y'all's channel. You got this track up here called Legacy with Conway the Machine on here. So I wanted to give people a little sample of what you guys do so they can see how dope y'all really is. All right. So just bear with me for 1 second. Play a little snippet. We can't, we ain't trying to get flagged, but we give them a little something. You feel what I'm saying? Absolutely. So just bear with me 1 second. And we're going to play this track. This is Legacy, y'all, from 80 Empire featuring Conway the Machine and Ballistic Man with Aki Thomas and Elijah Roberts. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. This is fire. All right. So you got the bars on there, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up, yo. The tracks, the melodies, yeah, we got you. RX, you back. So yeah, the melodic, you know what I'm saying? Y'all guys definitely do y'all thing, and that's just a little sample, just something. I couldn't give them the whole, you know what I mean? Y'all can check them out, you know what I mean? Go check out Gladiator Records on YouTube, 80 Empire, Google them, hit your Googles, and you see what I'm talking about, because y'all definitely got a unique sound. And I was checking some stuff out before the interview, doing my research. And, I like the way you guys are transitioning. I compare that, just bear with me for a minute. But if you remember how Cool and Dre had the Miami movement at that time. Yeah, and he had the sounds like that brown paper bag. You feel what I'm saying? Some of that feel to it that gave the street music some melodic. It made it music. It made it more musical, and that's kind of it's an era of that a lot of people don't notice and talk about. And I just wanted to acknowledge y'all for that and give y'all flowers for that. But
these guys will do anything, bro. They can make a hit record for a pop singer or whatever you need.
That's what I'm saying.
Get the stuff. That's best writing you can. If you ain't
to be in the same category as Cool and Dre for us, that's we appreciate the flowers, man. Man. And but it's stuff like that why we do what we do, and that we value what you said. We like this, like as much as it's vindication of what we're trying to do. And as you know, we're happy and appreciative of being on this platform to talk right now. You know,
Nah, it's what's up, man. We're gonna make sure this go out. Like I said, we do the live stream and then we chop everything up and we got distribution, you know what I'm saying, distribution channels to get it out. So, like I'm saying, man, another topic I wanted to touch on from something you said earlier was when you were saying how you could be hot for a moment and then you could be out, right? But I think one point I wanted to circle back to was that may be the difference between being independent and being on a major in the pipeline, which there are benefits to being in that system, right? But that more depends to me, in my experience, is the team. If you want a team, and a lot of artists need to hear this, producers need to hear this, people that want to get in the game, you may have to do something different. Like, look how Kanye made beats, and from him being able to work with all the top artists gave him opportunity to come out as an artist. And so, you know, like I came through the game with a DJ, a legendary New York DJ. So being in them clubs and kind of grinding and working your way up, learning the game from the radio side and all of that allowed you to understand it's 10 different lanes in here. It's just like an office building. You're just trying to get in the building.
Absolutely.
Work your way to wherever you need to go. You feel me?
You gotta wear multiple hats. You right, big bro, because I think a lot of people have this misconception of, all right, you can go get a major record label 360. You ideally would love to get a joint venture, and I think everyone thinks that's like, oh, I made it when I got there. No, that's when the work starts.
Right.
You get a bag, which is an APR loan rate, right, for these labels, and miserably fail.
Right.
You might get a nice little advance, but you got to go get this pre-approved here and this and that. No, guys like us, we like to control our destiny and have autonomy in what we're doing and be able to keep it. Because I don't even got to speak on it, but just lightly, like I had a situation presented to me with Warner, right? And the first thing they talking about, oh, well, we kind of like this little, you know, I experiment a lot. I do versatile stuff. They are real singers and real rappers. I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper's rapper. I'm not a singer, but I've been doing melodic stuff. And cuz heard one melodic record, he's like, oh, well, you know, just do this one record. We want to push this and that and forget the hip hop stuff you're doing. It's a little too street and this and that and change this. Like, nah, bro, we doing what we doing over here. We do us.
Nah, I'm with you. And I was gonna say that to you too. Like, I interviewed a guy a couple weeks ago, and what his thing was, he started coming up with anthems, like for like different sports teams, like the Saint. They was from Indianapolis, so the Colts and all that stuff. And where most people may think, yo, nah, I ain't doing that. You look at Black and Yellow. You see what I'm saying? And Black and Yellow, Wiz Khalifa is up. You feel me? And in the beginning, yeah, it's a dope song. So that's where RX, I agree with you, because I've done commercials. Like I did a joint for Foot Action, and you know, it was kind of on the order of how the Aliyah commercial was supposed to be. It was for the N1 dudes, for the street balls, and one of them was getting a sneaker. And by the time you write the rhyme, and it's dope. It's a dope little quick boom, because you only got 30 seconds, whatever, right? And you trying to get a couple punchlines in, whatever. And then they go to corporate with it. Like, oh, well, actually, he doesn't dribble the ball that way. He actually does a spin around. Could you say this? Well, yeah, we love that. Yeah, we did the change. Well, could you say that? Because we're trying to push this out in the West Coast market. So, and by the time you finish the damn song, you like, man, just give me the check. Man. You know what I mean? Just give me the look. And the public may think that you sold out, but you don't realize that they don't understand the process, like how the sausage, you know, quote unquote pause, but gets made. You know what I'm saying? And so that was why I wanted to touch on with business. Now, you guys being, you know, you say you're Italian now. I grew up on Staten Island, New York.
Hey, it's my mama from Shout out to Staten Island.
You know what I'm saying? So I know the whole thing, and I think it's more of a hip hop. If it's truly like the genre of our generation, transcends, I think, culture. And we've shown that all through the history of the game. And I think we're at a point now where, same way, like if you look back in the Motown era, you had pianists, when you look at the big artists that got to make those big albums and those groups, it was orchestras. It was, you feel what I'm saying? It's a collection of artists that come together to make a project. So it should be no difference of if, you know, y'all was Italian, if y'all was Puerto Rican, if y'all was whatever. If the music is dope, You
It's
feel me?
dope.
Like you show me the albums and stuff y'all grew up on. I mean, the vibe is that's the quote unquote from that era, the vibe. You know what I'm saying? So you putting that into your music is part of the code. It's supposed to go in there. You feel me? So talk about that for a minute.
And hip hop is universal, but it had to start with Big Pun going platinum for Latin artists to be able to
Yeah.
But
everything starts somewhere. And I think when you dope, you dope.
Look,
You know.
they say that, but then look at Stretch and Bobbito.
Yeah.
Stretch and Bobbito is legends, and they was playing hip hop on the radio. You feel what I'm saying? On the underground radio,
exactly,
and broke through.
So on that subject, I feel like everyone has this dispute of guess, like me being a white rapper, a guess. Yes, the fuck I am a guest in the house of hip hop, and I respectfully am happy to be here. Like I think it's like when M was getting shade, but he even said the same thing. Like this was black culture. I'm inspired by black creators. I'm inspired by everything that's transcended from nothing to something, and like you got to pay homage, but don't discredit people at the same time that's trying to like contribute to a culture, right? So I think that little dispute there is you know.
Nah, but I was just getting ready to say that. Like, I mean, rock and roll is black culture, bro. Like, you start looking at Chuck Berry and all that.
Most of the good shit has been.
You feel me? So we can't control that.
I was just saying the other day, I was sitting in my back porch, and I was sitting with my kids. I got a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old, 2 daughters, and my mom was out there too. And I don't know, we put on a Little Richard song, and my kids know who Elvis is because my wife's family grew up listening to Elvis. We grew up listening to nothing but black music,
right?
You know, so I told my kids, I'm like, Elvis is not the king of rock and roll. Little Richard is. For me, this is the thing for Lucas and I. Like growing up, for us, we didn't grow up in a black neighborhood. We grew up in an Italian neighborhood, but all the heroes on our wall, from the athletes to the entertainers, were all black. So, and Lucas and I also have always felt like outcasts because even though we grew up in an Italian neighborhood, we weren't into the same shit that all the Italian kids were into. We were into black music. So we were outcasts. I mean, I'll be straight up, especially Lucas. He was called the N-word for one period of time, and it was all Italian kids calling him the N-word, you know?
Because I was the only kid. I was the only kid in grade 7 and 8 rocking a red Everlast tracksuit, red of Air Force One,
Chicago
Bulls hat, and I'd go to school like, did you hear that new? You can do with this, or you can do with that. Engine. And everybody's like, yo, what's that? And then I would be like singing Tribe Called Quest, and everybody was now listening to like Pearl Jam and all this shit. And I was like, bum, bum,
right. In Canada, you know, growing up in Canada, although there's in Toronto, we don't live in Toronto anymore. We live near Niagara Falls in a small town. But in Canada, you know, everybody thinks of the Drakes and the Tory Lanez and the Weekends and the Bellies. Those are probably the 4 big, and now the Press Armanis and these guys are starting to get, you know, their shine. But, you know, still Canada, for lack of a better description, you know, it forces that because there's a lot of arts grants, you know, compared to, see, in the States, people have to get street money to put out music. Here, people get grants from the government. And it's still very, you know, beer and rock and roll. It's still very much that, even though it's changed, you know, so still people of our age group and even people who are, you know, Black Canadians, they probably respect Canadian rock. Not that we don't respect it, we just didn't grow up listening to it. Like there's an iconic group called the Tragically Hip. And they're iconic. And a tragedy, the lead singer, 3-4 years ago, he died of cancer. So they went across Canada doing a farewell tour. Now, that's tragic. You never want to see anybody die of any disease. But Lucas and I couldn't relate to the rest of our peer group, guys our age, because all our guys our age who'd go to their cottages on a weekend and sit around the campfire and listen to rock and roll. We're going maybe to a cottage, but we're listening to Annie Up, Get the Food. So it's just
if it was a cottage, it was back in the days when I was young.
And really quick, just to speak to that, like, so I think it's like with music, it's so iconic, it's so influential. Like, so I came from the middle class initially. I started off and there was food on the table, there was not a lack of, right? And then I wound up in, you know what I'm saying, in the system from 12 to 17 and living in the projects for the rest of my life, majority, right? So I've had kind of every end of the side of life, and I've seen every spectrum of how people live and been in different neighborhoods. And at the end of the day, like, that's what this album is just like us telling you the truth of like hip hop, because I grew up listening to gangster rap and that shit was cool as fuck to me. So I wanted to go hit licks. I wanted to go get the supplier. You know what I'm saying? To me, that was cool as fuck. And I didn't need to be a gangster. I didn't need to do none of that shit. Like I'm literally like a little white kid from Pleasant Hill that didn't need to do none of that shit. But something about it attracted me, and it was just like I glorified it, right? So then I got older and I evolved and found out who I was as a human being. Like, even just till a couple years ago, I really found out, look, I like to spit gangster shit. I like gangster rap. That's my favorite type of rap. But that doesn't mean I have to send that message, because what these people are receiving, it's cool to be quote unquote black. It's cool to have black music. Rap, hip hop is universal. It's the biggest thing in the world. So we are sending our kids a message, and that had a platform at this point that even if you will, corporation rap, unfortunately, that they push a certain narrative, but us independent artists get to push real music, what's our truth, and speak it. And I think a lot of people don't realize, bro, you making music that might live on for 20, 30 years. It might not do nothing, but you're going to impact someone in some way. And you better hope you do it the right way, because God looking down on it.
Now I'm with you, man. And I was going to say to you, like you said about being an independent artist, what do you think we can do to market independent artists better? So that, you know, now let me finish my question. Wait, hold on 1 second. All right, so my point is, the only lack that you guys have is not the talent, it's not the ability, it's the visibility. And I believe that in this media age, we're in an age now that we're looking at these platforms, the labels have consolidated everything.
Yeah.
All over again. While everybody's fighting over stupid shit, they made had the meetings. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm contaminating. I'm spreading my love.
Hey man, hey, it is what it is, man. But it's been raining every day out here.
Yeah.
Supposed to be summer, but that's what they say, right? So
real quick, the only thing I can speak to that, big bro, one word: relationships. Build relationships, good relationships. Have good people in your corner, because you can have a big ass bag of money and it might just mean nothing.
Right.
But got a relationship. The relationship I got with these guys is priceless.
Right. But I'm saying strategically, because my point I was getting to was the platforms that are out there now are not geared towards people who want to hear the music you guys make. Because
you're exactly right.
You feel me? So there's a way we can start. That's what I'm trying to do. Let me finish. That's what I'm trying to do with this platform. And big shout out to Matt Sims and Swab and all kind of people that we connecting with from around the country. You guys is in another country, internationally. Big shout out to M80, you know what I'm saying, my man. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying people that's got the same idea, like they have other platforms. You got your titles, you got this and that, but there's no like station that, or like whether you want to say or platform or whatever, where if you're independent, let's say you had like a crowdsourcing kind of thing where the fans really could pick. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, this guy is dope. Like it's like shuffle, right? And you go on there purposely to hear something you probably never heard. You might like it, you might not. But if enough people, you know what I'm saying, do it to where it's like, yo, this is collectively, we feel like this is dope. We can invest 50 racks or whatever and just keep rotating. You take the subscriptions and you just keep. So if I would subscribe to that, even if like say it's $5 a month or something, I'm subscribing because I know that $5 is going to help an independent artist or a group of them put projects out that it's the World Star and them they don't care who you is. They take your money. Wherever, you know what I'm saying? The advertising, I'm talking about the advertising infrastructure of hip hop media, to put it out there to say, we have an alternative lane for people who, just like you said with rock, you got alternative rock. You got people who like punk rock. You got people who like EDM. They can go to a specific channel and get, those artists can get discovered, where our artists like country, they can go to Nashville. You see what I'm saying? And they can get discovered in their little pipeline, in their little scene. Then those people are you know, whatever. They're picked. If you good, you good. If you whack, you whack. Yeah. But let have a ability to compete, to get some visibility, to say, hey, we can collectively advertise, because that's the only thing missing. You feel what I'm saying? So that you legitimately can have a career as an independent artist. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. RX, you look like you want to jump in.
Yeah, no, it's like, for me, it's like, bro, I think, again, like, we got a little team behind what we're doing, and we've been doing, and we've been building up. We all spend this, as of this year, 20, 30 hours a week as grown men, you know what I'm saying? Got kids, got bills, got shit, and we're at it, you know what I'm saying? Like, constantly. And that's been the difference this year, is because we realized, look, merchandise, look, if you fuck with me and I got 100,000 followers, I don't first of all care about getting famous. I'm in it for the bag at this point, and music saved my life. It's rhythm and poetry. It's therapy. It's what has literally got me through the hardest times of my life. I can have $100,000 and have 20,000 of those people spend $20 with me, $15 a year, and be successful. So I think it's just what is success to you? How do you want to do it? Like, these guys have done it, man, independently for years and years, and they got cribs and houses. Like, I was fucking homeless out of my car last year, bro, and I got a song in an Emmy-nominated documentary. I was living out the halfway house fighting motherfuckers on Sherm. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's been a roller coaster for me, but that's because I didn't handle my personal business. And as an independent artist, when you are independent and you don't have a whole bag and handlers and all this shit, you got to wear 8 hats. You got to stay at it every day. Like, for me, I'm an alcoholic and an addict. So I'm constantly trying to stay above water and do what I'm doing, right? So it might be like a couple days I'm fucked off, but every day has to be a new day. I got to stay on it. I got to recreate, figure out what I could do to improve from the day last. If I fucked off one thing, I got to go do 3 things on the karma scale to get it right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, for me, it's like, you don't need nobody, bro. You control your own destiny. And I blindly followed labels and independent labels and all this shit. Everything I've been signed with, I don't need to speak on names, but it's nobody's fault but mine. There's nothing no one can do to tell me that I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and I could put it on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you control your own destiny. You go as hard as you want to for yourself. If you believe in yourself, you're going to get there. You just got to do the work and do it 20 times harder.
But I know what Jay, like, I know what you're saying, in the fact that hip hop is one of the only genres of music that shit on their own kind. Where if you're a reggaeton artist and you have an opportunity to work with a legend like a Daddy Yankee who's been in the game for 20 plus years, that's an honor. If you're an up and coming rock and roll guy and you're about to open up for Metallica or somebody, you're like, you know what I mean? Where there's the new guys are going, so and so from back in the day. Nah, I don't fuck. That's old shit. We're the only industry that shits on ourselves. Right. And we're the only industry that, the digital platforms come out and they create these smoke and mirrors on how they want to help the independent, but they ain't doing shit for the independent. Right.
Because half of these platforms are owned by labels. They have percentages.
And half of the labels are paying for the streams.
Right.
But then they tell you that if you work hard and you're gonna, and that's bullshit. Because when you go to the playlists, and I won't get into names of some of these because we still need them to play our shit.
Yeah.
But no. But
hey, man, I'm with you.
But you go to half of these playlists on these DSPs, and it's all of them are the top 10 artists on each major
on label. Every one, right?
And when you say independent, well, Maybach Music is not independent.
Right.
Chance the Rapper is not independent.
Right.
They have major backing, so those are not independent anymore. Maybe when they first started, they were independent.
Right.
TDE ain't independent, but at the end of the day, Aftermath is still technically independent. but it's not, right?
I'll give a little story. It's a little naive, but in a way, we look at Gladiator, we look at what we're doing, what our ex is doing, and what other people are doing, like-minded people. It's like the little engine that could. But when I was in the hospital, you know, for 3 weeks, you know, music is one of the things that got me by, you know, especially because when you're fighting for your life and all of it, and like, you know, prior to that, I'm a healthy guy. And then all of a sudden, blink of an eye, your life has changed. And you're sitting in the hospital at night, you know, I'm listening to music. And so I'm listening to a Benny the Butcher record. And then his name was Colton. Shout out to all the nurses, man, who took care of me. The most selfless, incredible people in the world.
Those are the heroes.
Those are real heroes. But this nurse comes in, Colton. And, you know, he sees my long hair, and obviously in the like my, you know, in the hospital, man, your hair's like this.
Yeah, and had a haircut.
Because you're like lying on a bed like a vegetable. So he comes in and he's like, yo, you like rap? I figured, and my hair was longer, like it was like here. My beard was up to here. He goes, I figured you were like a rocker. And I'm like,
Adrian looked like Tom Hanks from Castaway.
But this is the story.
I can see the resemblance.
Yeah, man. He's like, yo, I love hip hop. And I listen to Benny and Conway. And I go, dude, like we have records with these guys.
Right.
And then earlier, RX, your screen went off, but Jay played a little bit of the Legacy video. And so I said, we have this record with Conway called Legacy. And this is the nurse. He's like, fuck off.
He knew the song.
He goes, like, I know that song.
That's 80 Empire. That's Legacy.
So I saw that on a playlist. So again, even though we're indie, so I think it's difficult. We're lucky because we have a studio. Luke's got a studio in his house. So that's hydro, but it's not like we're paying $60, $100, $200 an hour. Like we're all self-contained. So we have the ability to push out music at a quicker rate. Because having all the shit,
and I mix, you know, over the years, you have to learn.
But although it's difficult, and I agree with Jay, like I think there's got to be platforms that are truly for independent artists and where you could truly monetize and make a living. But I think the consistency for an independent artist, while you're battling all this bullshit, is to be consistent in putting out product. Because last year, all we did is like every 2-3 weeks. We put out records, and then I'm sitting here like this in the hospital, and this Colton guy goes, I know your record. So it just goes to show you that this kid who he thought I wasn't into hip hop because the way I look, I thought this kid's not into hip hop. He probably likes, I don't know, fucking Maroon 5 or some shit. And he's listening to Benny the Butcher and 38 Special, and he knew our record. So it goes to show you the more you keep, it's like a machine gun. Just keep on shooting.
The problem is, and I'm not going to say like the generation, I'm not talking age, but because we know artists our own age that fall into the same trap. But we live in a generation where they want the reward without the work. They want to be superstars for maybe doing 6 months worth of what they deem work by posting a couple of fucking bullshit Instagram pics, and they think, why aren't I a superstar? Why aren't I not opening up for Ariana Grande or J. Cole or whoever it is? And I'm like, this is a grind. And, you know, 100 times out of 100, you'll probably fail. But then you get back up and you go, I'm going to try the 101th time. And that's when, you know, something clicks, you know. And Adrian and I, like for many years now, we're focusing on Gladiator, us being the producers and stuff, working with artists. And what ended up happening was we were putting all of our time, money, expertise into these acts because we've been there. We've been through the trenches. We've met everybody. We've gone there. We've signed this. We've lost everything and gained it back and lost it again to try to teach them. And what ended up happening is 90% of these acts don't want to put in the work. So Adrian and I said, pandemic came.
There's a lot of lip service, but not the action about it.
We live in a world of emojis and, you know, instead of actions. Like, don't tell me you love me, show me you love me.
And to interject on that real quick, Luke, like, so just to circle back on the independent thing, right? It's like, what could people be doing more? these guys took me under their wing, already being established who they are. We've known each other for 10 years, but not very well frequently until, the last year and a half where we really started connecting. They saw a video I did. It was I Know, and they reposted, and I was like, love. Then we started chopping it up. But that's what is, unfortunately, it used to be in the Bay Area, right? Hip hop started in New York, but in the Bay Area, I don't think anyone could dispute this. We started the independent grind, motherfuckers going platinum out the trunk. And because it was a camaraderie, it was a unity. It was artists like them that could come take the little homie and put them under their wing. Like, I was in a dark place last year. That album fucking got me through last year, bro. Just to know that this was coming. So for me, it's like just people looking at talent and not just because, look, they might not have the whole platform. There used to be artist development. There used to be handlers, all these things. I'm not saying that artist development doesn't exist anymore, but it's very different. And a lot of people are good at one thing at that craft. But when you got people like this, big homies that will come and take you under your wing, I was literally, I don't want to say nobody last year, but I wasn't really doing shit, nobody, because I was off. You know what I'm saying? I really missed for a couple years because of that crutch I spoke on. That song we did with Crooked Eye just about to hit 1 million views. So that's what it's about, is camaraderie, supporting each other. Just support real shit. If you fuck with something that's authentic, champion it. You know what I mean?
And thank you, RX, man. And we also have a different definition of success. Obviously, you want to, if you're a person that has family, you want to be able to sustain income consistently and keep the lights on and pay for your kids to enjoy the privileges that you did or you didn't have as a kid. But success is in the, Adrian always says it, is in the implementation. We put out a record last year in the execution. We put out an album called Legacy last year. Whether 2 people heard it,
Actually, this year, 2020.
Actually, yeah, 20. Yeah, exactly. My thing, and
they drop a single every 2 weeks for like a whole year.
Thank you. We're over 2 million streams on Spotify independently, and again, when we say independently, but whether we have 2 million, 200,000, 2 people, we put it out. A lot of people talk about doing shit and never do it. We have greats like Crooked Eye and Big BG Knockout and Master Ace, guys that we grew up listening to, and new artists that are up and coming like RX and different MCs. So for us, it's a success. It's a success because we did it. Like, we put it out, and we're continuing to put it out, and that's where Adrian goes back to consistency. Putting out one song once a year or an album every 3-4 years, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna and unfortunately we do live in a world now with social media where it's not enough. Like, Jay, you were saying this before. It's not enough just to have some records and go, why isn't it? If you have no social media presence, I hate to say it ain't gonna do shit. Because we live in a world, it's a fast food industry now where people
mentality, dick riders. People don't support shit with it.
But no,
they don't stand next to it till there's some money behind it, and some bitches shaking their ass to it. But at the end of the day, or women, excuse me. But at the end of the day, it's like, good music is good music. Be a part of the come up. Be a part of the story. Be the person that was able to champion something before everyone else did.
And I agree with you. I agree with you on that, RX. Like, even what you guys were just saying, like, and I just want to see us win, because being somebody like you guys, you've been around. You feel me? And when you've been around the game and really start doing business, that's why it inspired me to start this platform. Because I call it Boss Talk for a reason, because it's more towards not the whole popping bottles, I'm a boss shit. It's more like, no, I'm a boss. I do business every day. You feel me? Yeah. And like you said, you got property and you got assets and you trying to, you know what I'm saying? You thinking the long range play. And what I was going to say is, big shout to DJ Chuck T, because he has a program where he teaches people, like we all grew up on that book, The Business of Music. And he basically has taken it and made it more up to date in a training. And it's great. Check him out on he's from North Carolina legend, mixtape legend, down south.
We wrote the Bible, yes, sir. Well, salute,
you know what I'm saying? So but my point is, before we wrap and everything. But I think, and you guys have been great too. This has been a great conversation. We're gonna chop it up more down the line. But what I was gonna say is, in order to do what we're talking about, like you said, it's execution and it's education. Yeah. That if you're independent, you're a business. You might be able to get some funding. You got to clean your personal credit up so you can get some business credit, so you can go and get the Rent-A-Tour bus. Because what I was gonna say, where we can take it back to is the colleges, because just now that everything's back open, the colleges. What most people don't know is that every single college has a budget for entertainment.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And this is things that are indie artists. Any artist, you know what I mean? You got me. I was just watching HBO, Bill Maher and them. They were talking about getting booked at the colleges and stuff. So these are like A-listers,
and that's grassroots,
right?
Before COVID hit, I'm not going to get too much into it. Lucas was speaking earlier about all these young artists that we had physically signed to our label, and we were teaming up with a promoter in Buffalo, and we were setting up college tours, and especially. This he's still a homie of ours. We're still going to do stuff, not with that particular artist, but he was talking about especially the black colleges and the homecoming. And so we were starting to set this up. And then, this artist didn't want to do it anymore. But that is a real market. I think people don't realize the college, but really, really quickly, because I know we're wrapping up. But, I love the name Boss Talk and Boss Talk Nation, but your introduction to your show, it shows your journey. And everybody, if anybody who's on a journey and you're still living to tell the tale and you're still growing and still learning, you've earned the right to call yourself a boss. So I enjoyed the introduction to your show, man.
I appreciate that, man. We worked hard on that, man. It took a minute, like, I had to get with my editor and like you said, you're trying to let people know this is you say this is what you want. Like you said, RX, like I said, and I'll say something to you before we leave too. Because I heard your story, man, and it's powerful. It's a powerful story. I didn't want to glaze over that. You on a journey, but you got to realize this is what you said you wanted. This is the actual recipe to get what you want. Now that comes to what you're saying. Everything we said tonight is the ingredients. You feel me? To really doing it for real, being able to have a career that you want to have. Like you said, it may be times you got to pay the bills. It may be times you got to do shit you don't want to do. But guess what? You're you're sacrificing so that you can build a company, like you're saying, and you can build your business. The same way we talk about these college tours, so is Verizon. So is T-Mobile. So is Mountain Dew. Like I did a tour with the Street Ball guys, a 30-city tour that we put together. Like the tour was major, millions of dollars invested in it. But one of my homies was one of the N1 dudes, and he gave us the green light. I was his, like, I don't want to say hype man, but he, like, when he came out, like kind of like a boxer. I was like bringing him out, you know what I'm saying? Like, like Mayweather or something. So that was his gag or whatever. But it was dope. It was real hip hop. It was music. But who has a person, you know what I mean? Like walk them to the court. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So we were able to link up with this other independent company from Arizona. Big shout out to my people's HMF Entertainment.
Shout out to the homies.
They had a bus. We had a tour. We from the East Coast. We flew up they from Arizona. We from, let's say, New York, New Jersey area. Flew to Seattle to start the tour and rode the whole tour because I was able to get sponsors with energy drink companies and whoever this and other artists said, look, we're going to be in 30 markets. We doing arenas. All you got to do is, give me such and such. Your stuff is on the mixtape. We'll take pictures. We'll post it up, blah, 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 blah. So your stuff, you can't get out to 30 cities. We're going to be in 30 cities. You want your shit out there, T-shirts, merch, whatever. This is a way to get your shit out there. And now that was pre-Instagram and all of that. So imagine now what you could do with that. Yeah. You feel me? And really, put the infrastructure structure behind this shit.
And real quick, shout out to DJ EFN. Shout out to all the blogs. The word is going. Everyone been writing up what we're doing. We appreciate y'all, bro. That shit mean a lot.
Yeah, man. EFN, I interviewed him. We got the show July 4th. We're gonna put it out.
Nice.
We did an interview with him, man. He's definitely a real dude. You know, his team is dope. You know what I mean? Humble cast, everybody's cool. So, like I said, man, I salute y'all, man. You know, let people know. But yeah, before we do that, I wanted to say something to you, RX, because I hear your story, man, and I want to commend you because, bro, many moons ago, but not too many, I was you, right? Maybe not the same exact circumstance, but all I had was the bars, bro. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So it could get you through life. And like you said, knowing you was going to be on this project and it was coming out gave you something to cling to. It kept you from going crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like, now I got to cool out because, you know what I mean? You got something to lose. So it's like, trust me, bro. I've been to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? I come from, you know, like you said, you started different parts of your journey, man. You might have been all right here, then you have a low point. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? You're gonna get there, bro. You feel me? But yeah, we'll start. I think RX froze up for a second, but 80 Empire, let people know where they can hear about the new
project. My bad, y'all. My Wi-Fi is terrible over here.
It's all good. Nah, you froze again. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
No, man. Look, I appreciate you and your energy, bro. And you know, saying that those kind words, bro. Like for me, a lot of people don't understand this shit. Really fucking saved my life. My mama killed herself when I was 17, and I did not want to be here no more. And it was a song by Tech Nine that had nothing to do. The context, the subject matter, completely different. But that song saved my fucking life. And I said, you know what? I can do this for one person. That's why I'm here. So I appreciate that, bro, a lot. Straight up. And you know what? This is what it is. It's life after life. That's why we putting this out. It's Fairy Tales on the 25th. And you know what? If you ain't fucking rocking with my big bros, find the fucking tallest building, Empire State Building, and jump off that bitch straight like that.
I'll tell you, man.
And you know what, man? We love RX, man. And,
like that.
We're his big homies. And there's a lot of enablers in this game. I'll say one real quick thing, and then we'll give our, all of our socials and all that. The game has a lot of enablers out there. People want to. They say they're your friends, but they have hidden agendas and they want to bring you down. So that's why you always keep the right people around you, and you'll be good. You know, it's when shit's going really good for you and shit's going really bad is where you see who are your true family and your true friends. And after you see who comes out or who dips when they need you, right? So with that being said, 80 Empire, Instagram, 80 Empire, Twitter, 80 Empire _. And yeah, every digital what are they called? DSPs?
Yeah, every DSP this Friday will be available
June 25th.
On every DSP imaginable.
Fairy Tales.
Run up those numbers, man, and go and listen to Boss Talk, man.
Definitely. And keep it consistent, man. Keep it consistent. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. We're gonna chop it up because like I said, me, you and Matt, because we're on y'all side of the border, man. It's time to expand. You feel me? You know what I mean? Bring that real culture wherever we could take it, because we ain't really just, you'll see how we get down, man. We showing love, but
we're only a 5-6 hour drive once this pandemic shit blows over. We're only a 6 hour drive, man. Yeah. So we'll have to to New York City. So that'll have to be a connection soon.
Yeah, we'll see what's up, man. But definitely, even just like I said, brothers, everybody who knows. Who's doing something, just being in each other's orbit. Like, okay, we're out doing stuff, certain things, whoop-de-whoop, and just everybody connecting, man. But RX, let the people know where they can find your music, where they can get
like that. Check it out. This is all y'all need to know. At RX the Rapper, no spaces. At RX the Rapper, we've been verified for the blue checks. All it is life after life. It's Fairy Tales and it's life after life, and that's coming. That's my birthday. Y'all could do that on my birthday. That's the only gift I need. Share the word, spread that fucking record with no fucking 80 Empire. It ain't no RX. So go fucking, if you ain't already follow my big bros and you fuck with me, go follow my big bros. Let them know you love them because I'm still here. Let's go.
He got the energy, bro. I like it. So that's
really like that. Like, I live this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, a big motherfucking shout out to Boss Talk. You know what I'm saying? The homie Matt. Hey, look, we out here. Let's go.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. And I just want to let everybody know, like I said, we the #1 platform, man, for entertainers and entrepreneurs. You can hit us up. You see the numbers and the info on the screen. 844-700-2677. That's 844-700-2677. Follow us at Boss Talk Nation on all social platforms and hit us up, man. Like I said, we out here. We trying to, if you're an artist, if you're a business owner and you trying to get with cats like this that's making moves and hitting the, hitting the road and, that is in other countries. You feel what I'm saying? This is international right here, exposure for you. So hit us up, man. Like I said, we here each and every week. BossTalkNation.com that goes right to our YouTubes for right now, where you can get all the shows. We just want to get the content out to you. And like I said, man, check us on the next one. You feel what I'm saying? We're gonna get the outro and then we're gonna get up out of here. But I appreciate y'all for coming through. And like I said, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. You feel me?
You heard it here first on Boss Talk, man. Yeah, what I mean. Let's get it.
Peace.
As an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Because I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Because I'm black.
It's really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now. I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out to Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine Network.